All right, there we go. Okay. Ah! Ah! Hold on. Turn this down. Turn this down. Sorry, I was going to start much sooner, and then I realized, oh wait, I haven't opened up anything else on my computer. I just hit start stream. Just woke up. Perfect. Exactly what I want. There we go. All right, that should be fun. That should do it. I don't know why the music's so loud. I don't know why the music's so loud. Can I get it down just a little bit more? Oh, there we go. Okay, as low as it's gonna get. All right. Boop. There we go. Yo. Good meowing guys, gals, MPs, and YouTube catters. Hope you're having a fantastic. What is today? Wednesday? It's Wednesday? Wednesday morning, Wednesday evening, Wednesday afternoon. I don't think it'd be Wednesday night, but regardless, hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. It is Wednesday, September 17th. We're live and alive today. We have our brand new cards to discuss, a lot of things to discuss. And let's see here. We haven't streamed since Friday, I want to say. Friday. And since then, a lot of stuff has happened. A lot of stuff has gone down. First and foremost. Oh, excuse me. Wait, no. Did we stream Saturday? When did they release the ban list? I think the last time we streamed was when they released the ban list, but I don't remember what day that was. If that was no, that was Friday. That was Friday because I was woken up after getting off work. So yes, that was Friday that they released a ban list randomly. But yes, all stuff have happened since then. If you're part of the Discord or follow on Twitter, hashtag ding, follow, all that good stuff. But we went and played Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals for the first time in like at least 2 months, 2.5 months. I think the last time I went to Locals, or last time I went and played. Hello, good meowing text. Hello. Welcome in. I think the last time I went and played Locals was before Regionals, which was back in July. Wait, no. Was it July? August? When was Regionals? Hold on. I have video documentation about this. Oh god, I gotta sneeze too. I apologize. I'm sorry. couldn't find the mute button in time. Oh, it's happening again. There we go. Much better. Much nicer. Okay, sorry about that. Muting to sneeze, I forgot to unhit my mute button. When was the last time? When was... I'm so sorry. August 12th was the regional video, so, or the last time we did a video. So yeah, it was that weekend before. So it was about a little over a month since the last time. I can't stop. Please help me. I hate having allergies when I wake up. It's the worst. Okay, I think we're done. I think we've stopped. I think we're good. Okay, Serenity. Oh nope, it's happening again. All right, now I think we're done. I think we're good. Give me 1 second. All right. It's my divine punishment. It's my punishment for not waking up on time, for sleeping in an extra hour, and then immediately starting stream. I didn't wake up an hour to take my allergy medicine and like get it all out of my system before starting. So I apologize. Okay, where were we? Yes, last time I went to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals. Last time I went to last time I went to go play. Oh, gosh, my brain is fried now. Uh-oh. I sneezed my brain out, chat. I sneezed my brain out. I sneezed all the thoughts out. No thoughts anymore. Last time I went to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals was back in August, so it's been about over a month now. But we went last week, or last Saturday, and after the ban list announcement on Friday, figured everyone at the store would play the new ban list since it went into effect Monday. But no, people wanted the last their last runs with the meta decks of the format, with being able to run Rosin, Vanquish Soul Rosin at 3, Crystron Occlusion at 3. What else did we run into? Didn't run into Yummy decks, so that didn't matter. But regardless, we still went undefeated. We still won. Still went 4-0 with White Forest after not having played in so long. Deck felt really good, especially against the like full powered Vanquish Soul K9 decks, or Vanquish Soul decks in general, that we played. I think we'll probably talk about it more when we go through the deck here in a little bit as I set up my camera. But felt really good, felt really nice. I think a lot of people, I mean, especially going into this new format with the new ban list coming out, or going into this new format that came out Monday with the new ban list, a lot of people sleeping on White Forest as a viable, I wouldn't say tier 1 strategy. Obviously it's not a tier 1 deck by any means, but like a tier 2 strategy, or a strategy that like a lot of people don't bother learning or don't bother figuring out what they do. Granted, I have been playing White Forest at my locals for like over a year now, and people still haven't like tried to learn where to interrupt me at, or where to interrupt the deck at. So like, I mean, that was one of my biggest experiences at regionals, is a lot of people didn't know how to combat the deck either, outside of just like Droll and Lockbird at the time. But now that Droll and Lockbird is no longer in the format, well, I wouldn't say no longer in the format, but now that Droll and Lockbird is being played in the side, in the TCG format and not main decked anymore, and since the ban list hit the only like top tier deck that loses to Droll and Lockbird slightly, Droll and Lockbird is technically even worse. So we might not see it as much either, because Yummy does not care about Droll and Lockbird. Dracotail does not care about Droll and Lockbird. The K9 actual aspect of K9 Vanquish Soul, which, I mean, if people still try and play Vanquish Soul, over like a different rank 5 or a level 5 engine, then the K9 aspect doesn't actually care about Droll and Lockbird. And anything, I think people are just going to play like K9 Control, and since they're getting a new main deck level 5 name as well as a new Xyz monster, they'll just probably play like pure K9, if anything, pure K9, or I don't know, maybe the Cyber Dragon K9, What else? I don't know what other rank 5 engines that they had going that would work in that deck. But regardless, so because of that, because of the lack of Droll and Luckbird in the format, and because Board Breakers are kind of decent in the format, White Forest is really good in the format coming up. Even though the other decks play on our turn, like play on turn 0, White Forest literally just, as if we get to go full combo, them putting a monster on the field during our turn lets us combo easier, because or two, one lets us combo easier, or two has us end on an additional body or additional monster, because we could just go Diabell Star Vengeance in the TCG and pop whatever they summon during our turn to get a free Tuner Synchro, or free removal, like with Regina or anything like that. So it's not bad. It's really not bad at all. Like I said, felt really good last weekend. And there's a lot of new cards that I tested or tried out that felt really good in the current format. We'll see how the format develops, because we're on the post. I think that this weekend is the sneak peek for Duma Dimensions in the TCG, which Duma Dimensions in the TCG. Why is it? There we go. Duma Dimensions in the TCG is bringing forth, let's see, we're probably going to discuss it today as well. I want to watch some of the box openings for that, because I know for sure it's the DDD support. There's not too much else that I know is going to be happening. Oh god, oh my nose, ah. Let's see, what is Duma Dimensions card list? There we go. Oh, hold, there we go. DDD stuff. Oh, the Goki support, technically. Goki support, Doom Z. I think that's part of the like story archetype, the lore archetype. Oh, the Radiant Typhoon, the Mystical Space Typhoon. Yeah, if you we haven't kept up with it. Mystical Space Typhoon is getting a retrain archetype that basically just turns Mystical Space Typhoon into a negate. It's Self Accord gets new supports. It's supposed to be very good. And then of course Draco Tail, Yummy, and Canine get new supports, as well as Megalith. I forgot to see what the Megalith stuff did. And then the Black Rose stuff is in the set too. A lot of archetypes. Oh shit, it's still going. Hold on. Tri Brigades gets a new monster. And I believe Zodiac gets stuff too, or is it just Tri Brigades and that's why they brought back Zodiac? It looks like it's just Tri Brigade, so yeah, that's why they brought back Zodiac for Zodiac Tri Brigade. So there's gonna be a lot of new, interesting updates to previous decks, or decks that haven't seen like a whole lot of support in a while. But I don't know like how it's going to shift like the format. I assume like Draco Tail and Yummy gonna be the two best decks by far. Still in the format, but I don't know, like the tier 2 strategies, I guess, how like improved they will be, or like how like close they will be to competing. But we'll see. I mean, we're still gonna be playing White Forest. We're still gonna be trying out new stuff. I might try out the DDD deck. We'll see about that. Okay. Wake up, catters. Wake up. All right. We definitely wanted to go over the new White Forest list today as well. I'll get set up for that. And then I do have replays like on Dueling Book to talk about like the new White Forest lines, or the new cards and how to get to them in White Forest. Why did this get muted? What is going on with my computer? And then we also have the Duelist Cup today. I think they just started the Duelist Cup last night or this morning on Master Duel, that we could chill and play through as well, because we have to get to whatchamacallit, Duelist Cup level 20 for the next thing. I don't know if I'm gonna actually like, I'm not one, if you're new to the channel, I'm not one to play the actual like Duelist Cup, the like rating part. This is the second phase, where you have to like grind for 3 days. I think that's absolutely stupid and unhealthy. So we won't be participating in that, but we do love getting the free jimmies that they allow us to have. Oh, what the fuck was that? Hello? That flash on stream, or is that just my computer? Huh? That's scary. That was scary. That was weird. Okay, let me get this set up. Let me get my camera transferred over. We'll talk about White Forest. We'll get that out of the way. It's going to be like a multi-part discussion. We're going to talk about the deck list. We're going to talk about sideboard, or we're going to talk about lines, and we're going to talk about sideboarding. It's going to be just a big smorgasbord of information for White Forest for this current format, or at least how I feel White Forest should be played in this current format. There we go. And then we'll go from there. Give me 1 second. But let me see if I switch all this over. This is the only hard part about, only annoying part about switching over to hand cam. I wouldn't say only annoying part, because the other annoying part is getting my camera situated and attached. There's so much cat fur everywhere. Not even for me. Sage. I'm climbing on my desk. Okay. Alright, let's switch over to hand cam. Let me get the settings saved properly. Hold. 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 Ba ba ba. Hold on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, I think that's correct. I think that's good. All right. Now just the hard part. Now the hard part. Now we have to get this hand cam attached and properly secured so it doesn't dox me. Because that would be very unpoggers, chat. Be very unpoggers. I'm gonna try this. Luckily, I think we added enough. I think we added enough like putty and sticky stuff to hold it together. Okay. Let's start with this. Oh, okay. So far so good. Activate. Woo! Okay. Now to fix this. Oh well, yeah, we have my settings saved on my phone still. Yay! It won't take an hour to fix this. Notes, camera settings. Look at me, I'm so smart. I'm so smart. Properties, configure video. Meow, 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 meow. There we go. Hold on. Hold on. Hold. There we go. Hold. Okay. We're doing good. Doing good. Let's see here. Now the hard settings. Whee! All right. Auto exposure off. Oh god, I gotta sneeze again. I'm so sorry. Ah! There we go. Okay. All right, that should work. That should be it. I think that's good. You might turn up the gain a little bit. Ah! Okay. How's that look? Does that look good? Look good, chat? Hands look good? Hands visible? Ah! I don't know why allergies are so bad this morning. I apologize. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Why is it like so catty cornered? All catty wampus. There we go. Please don't fall off. Knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. There we go. Okay. Let's try this now. I think this is more secure. It definitely looks straighter. Okay. Looks better. Looks much better. Okay. All right. Please don't fall off. Please don't fall off. Say it with me, chat. Please don't fall off. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Bop. Bop. Yay! Okay. All right. All right, let's start this professionally. Let's start this right. Let's start this out good. 3, 2, 1, clap. Good meowing, guys, gals, enemies, and YouTube catters. So, on the heels of a brand new ban list forming a potentially a brand new format, and alongside the cards of Doom of Dimensions, decide this past weekend, make some time, and actually go to locals for the first time in like over a month, at least since regionals, which I think was over a month ago. I have to double check, but with the ban list announcement dropping on Friday afternoon, and then locals being subsequently the next day on Saturday, I figured we would be playing the new format. A lot of people would be wanting to play the new ban list, but unfortunately that was not the case as we got there, and everyone basically used this time as a last minute, last hurrah, last run with their favorite Vanquish Soul cards, their favorite Crystron cards, favorite Yummy cards, everything. So we had one last run with the past format with Vanquish Soul K9 at full power, pure Vanquish Soul at pure power. No, good meowing crews, how's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. Had one last run with Vanquish Soul K9 at full power, and one last run with Crystron with full power, and all the other decks without their bans and limits. But regardless of all of that, we still managed to go undefeated, still managed to get the 4-0. And honestly, I think I feel like White Forest is in a very good position right now with this current format. And I'll tell you a couple of reasons why, and why you should consider White Forest. Why? Because I've seen recently people, content creators, doing their tier lists for the upcoming format, the Doom of Dimensions format, and either just not even listing White Forest, or saying like, don't waste your time with White Forest, never have to learn White Forest, etc., etc. And I think that is completely uninformed. I think that is very wrong. I think it is while it is a meta dependent deck, I think this meta is very strong for White Forest, to where it is a tier 2 deck at best. And because of that, it's going to see a lot of fringe play, and it's going to be topping because of a couple of reasons. First and foremost, it is a bad Droll and Lockbird format. Droll and Lockbird absolutely kills White Forest, but with Yummy and Draco Tail becoming the best decks in the format by far, both of those decks do not care about Droll and Lockbird. So we are either going to see Droll and Lockbird purely only in the side decks. Sorry, we're going to see Droll and Lockbird purely only in the side decks, if at all, because a lot of people, even at Worlds, wasn't even just playing Droll. And then the other reason is board breakers are decently strong in this format. Granted, this was prior to the ban list, where hand traps were significantly worse because of the K9 cards, but with Vanquish Soul being the hits in the ban list, we might see some pure K9 lists played around everywhere, since K9 is going to be also just getting more support, getting more monsters, and getting another Xyz. So the K9 portion of the deck probably be moved to like a control strategy that still plays on your turn or still exists on your turn. So I still think board breakers are going to be very good, especially against into like the Yummy matchups and the Draco Tail matchups, which helps White Forest out a bit as well, because you want to play a mixture of board breakers and hand traps. So we because we want to up our spell and trap count for the White Forest cards. There was one more reason I'm trying to remember, chat. One more reason why White Forest is good. Outside of people who still don't know the deck or still don't know how to interact with the deck. Oh, new time rules. That's what it was. The new time rules also helps White Forest as well. Because games no longer go to a time limit draw, no longer go to a time limit draw, or no longer lose by health or life points in time. This is a vast improvement to DBL Star Vengeance. You wouldn't know how many games I dropped at regionals when I played White Forest because time ticking down. My only interaction on the board was paying half my life points to pop a card, and losing by time or drawing game 2, game 3 because of time. Sorry, drawing game 2 because of time, because I had to use DBL Star. It was no fun, but luckily with the new time rules, we don't have to worry about that. We get to use all of our removal, and honestly, DBL Star Vengeance and that DBL Star package is the most busted part of the White Forest deck. Everything kind of supplements that strategy now, and it is very strong. It is very good. So being able to use that strategy or use those archetype unabated is very good. People interacting or playing during your turn also helps that strategy as well, because they will, like K9 for example, will activate Azuna during your turn, send the Lupus from deck to grave, special summon the Lupus, Xyz or whatever into rank 5. We at the end of our combo just get to go DBL Star Vengeance, pay half our life during our turn, to add an extra body to add a tuner synchro. It's also very good if we get stopped by like hand traps and stuff. We can just special summon our Rusilia. Special summon our Rusia off of the DBL Star Vengeance, and just get another. If we had just another level 2, then we get special summon like an LZ or an Azamina LZ. You still get to go full combo from that without having to worry about our level 4s. So, all that being said, I did want to talk about the deck list I ran this past weekend, because there has been some changes since the previous list, and I want to discuss what those changes are, why behind those changes, and I also want to talk about sideboarding as well, and sideboarding changes coming up for White Forest in this new format. And then at the end, I have some combos on Simulator that I've run through to kind of show how we use those new cards in action and why we choose to play the new cards that we do. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down in the comments below. And while you're there, remember to like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And if you're watching currently live on Twitch and YouTube as we record this video, feel free to ask in comments any questions that you have about like different lines or different things with White Forest. So, all right, let's switch over to the hand cam real fast. Boop. There we go. Look good, look fine, look great. Let me go down here. Oh, that's too small. That is too small. Ah! All right, we have the deck list. We're still on 43 cards. I don't like being at 43. I wish I could cut it down more, but you kind of need to run like everything that is in this list. And I definitely do not want to go up in card count by any means. Oh, I should have talked about it at the beginning. Got a question. What booster pack or box will be a good thing to buy returning to the game after 21 years? That depends. If you're looking for... If you're looking to get into the game and like build something to go just like to locals with, let's see. If you're wanting to build something like a specific archetype, then always just buy singles. Don't buy booster boxes or booster packs. If you just want to like pull something and see what you get and then try and build off of that, I highly recommend the 2025 Megatens, because they are just reprints of all the archetypes that were popular during this past year. So it has like White Force reprints, Malice reprints, everything that came out this past year. What else is in that? We opened a lot of it. So you'll always get something out of that. And then it also comes with the Starlight Rare, which is like the highest rarity guaranteed, which is, I mean, just a shiny card to have, a nice card to collect. Outside of that, I would recommend, if you just want to like get something to like take to locals like as soon as humanly possible, I highly recommend just buying structure decks. The Blue Eyes structure deck is a great place to start. You just buy, I think they're like $12 a piece, but you buy 3 of them, so you get all copies of the cards you need. So you buy 3 of the Blue Eyes structure decks is enough to like go win a locals with. If you learn how to play the deck. If you like Branded, if you played Master Duel and are a fan of Branded, then there's a Branded structure deck coming out in 2 weeks, a week from now. It's either like the start of next month or the end of this month. I can't remember. But that is also going to be a good deck to take the locals and stuff. So if you want to play competitively, if you want to go play your locals, just buy structure decks. If you want to build something specific, then buy singles. And if you want to just like, if you just want to open packs and open cards and get the dopamine and then see what you have after that to build stuff, then buy the 2025 Megatens. The booster boxes for Yu-Gi-Oh have not been too great recently. There's not very like good archetypes being printed. If you want to buy a booster box, Justice Hunters is a good booster box to buy, but you're not going to get everything that you need in one booster box. So I would recommend just if you're trying to get a deck, just buy a structure deck. Okay. All right. Sorry. There we go. God, there's just a little bit of glare. Let me turn it down just a little bit. I shouldn't have popped the gain so high. Let's put you down to like a... That's better. All right, that's better. Where is my chat? Oh, nope, that's the wrong chat. Let's see here. Test. See if that appears on. Okay, cool. That does appear. All right, perfect. So, where were we? All right, White Forest. Here we are. It's a 43 card main deck still. I don't want to cut it down, it's a 43 card main deck still. I wish I could cut it down, but honestly, you need to run just everything that's already in this deck, if not more copies of it. But I am stubborn and I don't want to go up in cards. I don't like reducing consistency. So we're holding at 43 as much as humanly possible. I believe like the ratio I have is like 20. I'll have to hold on, let me pull up. I think it's like 20 monsters in total, and then the rest 23 like spells and traps. But you always want more spells and traps in your deck than you want monsters. Yep, exactly. 20 monsters, 23 spells and traps. And you want a good ratio of traps for our DBL Star, so we have traps to banish, to special summon DBL Star Vengeance. But there's a couple of new cards in this list, and I'll discuss why we play those cards when we get to them. As always, if you like the video, like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff, and let me know what you think. If you have any questions, if you have any changes or anything that you are concerned about in the list. So let's just get after it. To start, we'll go through these cards. I mean, triple LZ is very common. Triple Sylvie. We did rarity bump. Oh, I'm just missing my last Sylvie. I'm waiting for my last Ultra Sylvie to come in the mail. But I did buy all the rarity bumps for White Forest from this Mega Tim. But triple Sylvie, triple LZ, these are your best starters in the deck by far. If we're playing around Dominus, we want to LZ first. If they are not a Dominus deck, like a Dominus Purge deck, Dominus Impulse deck. If they're not a Dominus Impulse deck, then we start with Sylvie. The rest of the White Forest names is LZ Azamina, Esteller, and we are also running the Rusia. So a lot of people are not playing Rusia, and unfortunately in this format we do have to play this extender, because some of the times we are just going to open the Witch of the White Forest, and they'll have like an imperm or effect failure or something like that, and we start with our Stellar or normal summon, or we just normal summon a Stellar and send like a Tails or something. If they interact with the Stellar at all, we have to have access to our special summon level 4 to be able to extend our combos. And also a lot of times you will just get stuck with you will just get like LZ ashed and have to normal summon LZ, or get LZ Dominus purged, and we'll have to normal summon LZ. And if we send like Tails, even if we don't send Tails, we can use our normal summon for LZ and then special summon our Rusia to extend with. Also, because decks heavily interact with your normal summon, with the K9 deck and the Draco Tail deck, you don't want to have to commit to your normal summon as soon as possible. A lot of people are just looking for you to go LZ, add Sylvie, normal summon Sylvie, they take your Sylvie. Now you have no plays. So you want another level 4 extender, and you want to be able to not have to commit so hard to your normal summon. So it is 9 White Forest names as well, which is very good. I mean, sometimes you open the Rusia, but I mean, that is unfortunately just the risk you have to take. And opening the Rusia is not bad, because a lot of people just let your draw 1 go through as well, without a care. The rest for our spells, which the White Forest at 3, one of our best starters and a 1-card combo starter on its own. The new and improved rarity bump Prismatic Secret. Look at this, chat. Look at how pretty it is. Show up on camera, don't dox me. Hard to see the double sleeve. Yeah, Prismatic Secret, Tales of the White Forest, rarity bump. And our last White Forest spell and trap is Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. So we're only running 5 White Forest spells and traps. And I know what you're thinking. There's no woes here. I used to be a huge proponent of woes, but we have changed that card out for another today, for this list for the current meta right now, because you want all of your White Forest searches to go into extenders. By taking out the woes and replacing it with another trap, we now get every search is going to be an extender. Whether if we open Tails, then we search Witch. If we open if we start with Witch, we search Tails. This This streamlines the White Force combo a lot easier, makes your decisions a lot easier. We do have some other White Force spells and traps that we side in going guaranteed first, but Woes is also always getting cut when going second. And because we're not too afraid of Droll anymore, because Droll and Lockbird is in sideboards at most in the current format, then we can use all of our searches on extenders. If we somehow open both of these, then of course we get the Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. This gives us an additional Sinful Spoils or an additional special summon. So you can, technically all three of these are extenders to search through to continue our White Forest line. If, like I said, if we've already gone through the other two, we get Sinful Spoils of the White Forest, and we can go Sinful Spoils of the White Forest to special summon our Stellar to extend with, or diffusion summon if they happen to interrupt our like Hollowed Azamine or something like that. So that is the White Forest spells, no longer traps. Then we are on the Diabell Star or Sinful Spoil stuff. We have our Diabell Star, the Black Witch. I wonder if, should I pull this in? I think I need to zoom this in a little bit. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I didn't know it was so pulled out. Options, configure video. How's that? A little bit better, a little bit more. Let's do that. There we go. All right. Much better. Sorry. All right. So the next package is our Diabell Star or Sinful Spoils package. We of course have the 1 Black Witch, the 3 Wanted, the 1 Deception, and the 1 Morium. And then instead of Woes, what we're running is 1 copy of Sinful Spoils of Betrayal Silvera. So I know it looks a little bit weird that we're running both of the book trap. I guess it's both of the like graveyard effect traps for Sinful Spoils, but we have the book trap and Sinful Spoils Betrayal. If you haven't seen this card, a lot of people haven't played this card. I know it was popular for like a week or so when the new Diabell Star stuff came out, and then people just kind of got off of it. But Sinful Spoils of Betrayal Silvera, you send a Diabell Star monster as cost from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard. Then you target 1 face-up card on the field, negate its effects. When your opponent activates a card or effect in response to your Diabell Star monster effect or your Sinful Spoils spells and trap card or effect activation, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate that effect as well. So what all that is this is a targeted negate, targeted face-up card and negate when you have a Diabell Star in your hand or on the field. And that could be any Diabell Star, that could be your Black Witch, or that could be your Vengeance. But also if you send this card, whether it's through like Hallowed Azamina or off of Diabell Star, or off of off a Diabell Star combo starter, or off of Hallowed Azamina, off of Debtors, anything like that, this card has a graveyard effect that if they try and respond to your Diabell Star effect to set, or if they try and respond to your Deception effect to search, any of your Sinful Spoils effects, your White Forest, Sinful Spoils of the White Forest Diffuse, you can banish this card from your graveyard and negate that interruption and negate that hand trap as well. So what this can do is a lot of people will hold their like Mulcharmies for your Hallowed Azamina to kind of get you on the choke point of, well, you have to fusion summon to summon your Azamina monsters. So you can go Diabell Star, send the Sinful Spoils of Betrayal Silvera, or you can go Diabell Star set this and then send it with like an LZ or an Stellar or a Rusia or anything like that. And then when they eventually try and Hollowed Azamina, or sorry, when they eventually try and Ulcharmony Fuwalos you in response to your Hollowed Azamina, sorry, take that back. If they try and Fuwalos you in response to your Sinful Spoils of the White Forest, you can banish this and negate that Fuwalos. They can also, if you try and go Deception, Tribute Diabell Star to add Hollowed Azamina, you can banish this to negate that Ash Blossom as well. The reason why Morian is still in this list, also nice little rarity bump to an Ultra from the Megatins as well. Are matching now. Reason why we are still running Morian and running both of these is because is because Morian we can still dump with like Foolish Burial Goods or Diabell Star with a Send Effects of White Forest if we open it in our hand, and still have it in our graveyard as much as humanly possible. If we have access to the Diabells, the 2-card monster Diabells and Diabell Star Vengeance, we can dump this in the graveyard, and this is the easiest way to activate our Moa Regina in the graveyard, as we can always just reset this during our opponent's turn and get a free pop 2 from our Moa Regina. I tried cutting this card originally, and it honestly, I didn't play this at regionals, and I really regretted it because it was a lot more difficult to try and activate our Moa Regina without this card. This is the easiest way by far. Like if you're playing Moa Regina at all, which you should be, because it's a very strong card, we have to play Morian as a way to activate it whenever we want. Wrapping up the Azamina stuff, we have Hollowed Azamina and Debtors. I've already talked about a lot why I like Debtors so much, especially with Mulcharmies, the Perulias, and the Fuwaloses being so popular. You want to give as few draws as humanly possible. Also, because we can sometimes lock ourselves out of dark monsters by starting with the White Forest field spell, being able to go Deception, search Debtors, set Debtors, and now we have Deception on the field to send for Debtors to make a Azamina monster during their turn is a lot stronger. Is definitely necessary, definitely needed. And then the last engine package, of course, is the Diabells, the White Witch, Diabell Star Vengeance, Philia Diabell, and Curse of Diabell. If you've seen a White Forest list before in TCG, you will know what these 4 cards already do. It's a isolated 4-card engine. Diabells you search because it is a White Forest card, a White Forest monster. You can search it off of your Rusia. You can search it off your you can search it off of your Resilia, or your Field Spell, or your LZ. This gives you access by dumping Curse of Diabell. Curse of Diabell adds you the Philia Diabell. Philia Diabell adds you the Diabell Star Vengeance. Or if you've already had access to these cards, like you had to go Philia Diabell to add the Diabells, the White Witch, then you can just dump the Vengeance straight into the graveyard. Your special summon by banishing a spell and a trap. Oh, that reminds me. The other reason why we're running Silvera over Woes is because the other reason why we're running Silvera over Woes is to keep our trap count. We don't want to replace Woes with another spell like the White Forest spell negate. Also, because, and I'll show you the lines at the end here, we want our White Forest searches to be extenders always. or at least 90% of the time, we want our White Forest searches to always be extenders to like streamline that line. We have 3 simple spoil searches in the deck. We have our Diabell Star Black Witch, we have the Azamina LZ, and we have the Yugioh Azamina Fusion Summon. Whereas for White Forest, our only ways of searching a spell and trap is Sylvie, which a lot of times just wants to grab you tails, and Rusilia, which a lot of time is grabbing you like as a LZ or another extender as well, or probably another extender at like Witch of the White Forest. So it's really hard to use your your White Forest search for woes unless you've already opened 1 or 2 of your extenders already, which sometimes you do, but a lot of times, like I said, 90% of the time you're always searching extenders with that. For non-engine hand traps, 3 Fuwa, 3 Ash, and 2 Perulia. The Perulias are, you always need to be running Fuwalos. You always need to be running Ash for opponent's Molcharmies. Ash always outside of that is the weakest hand trap. The Perulias could be 2 different things depending on what the format shifts into. Perulia still pretty decent into Yummy, still pretty decent into K9 or Vanquish Soul if they're still on Vanquish Soul variants. I don't know if Ryzeal is going to be seeing play with the hits to Ryzeal, but really we just want our hand traps to draw us into engine as humanly possible, because as long as we're drawing into engine, we are able to break just any obscene amount of board. Now, what we want to draw into with these Molcharmies to board break is 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet. A lot of people were running Nibiru. I tried running Nibiru. It just makes too many monsters in this list like upsets the spell and trap to monster count ratio in White Forest. Normally, I didn't like a Droplet beforehand because like you want as many cards in your hand as humanly possible, because for our send effects, that's hard to also send like it's hard to also send like spells and traps that we could potentially send for our White Forest effects. But the deck needs some kind of board breaker, and because like if an opponent just gets that you're on like just Molcharmies and no way of like breaking the board, and they just play through it no matter what, they still end up on enough negates with like Nash Knight, the Umbral Horror, the ability to go into the Werewolf during your turn and rip cards out of your hand. You need some kind of board breaker to combat that. For the rest of the non-engine, we are on the one-ofs, the Triple Tactics Talent, the Foolish Burial Goods, the Called by the Grave, and then our last 2 traps are 2 Black Goat Laughs. You could absolutely run 3 Black Goat Laughs. I decided to go for 2 and 1 Foolish because it's very good seeing this. It's always good seeing this card in your opening hand. This format is insanely good for Black Goat Laughs because you can banish it, you can send it off Diabell Star, banish it, call Yummy Snatchy, and then they get their 1 activation of Yummy Snatchy, and that's it for the rest of the turn, and you just kill them from there. Thanks. Yeah. Hello, Yugioh. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Welcome in, welcome in. Our archetype is being broken down here. This is White Forest, which we just finished the deck list, so we'll go into like lines and stuff here in a second. This is my updated White Forest list for the new format, in which I won most recent tournament with. All right. What was the yeah? Black Oak Laughs, very good this format. You easily just call like Yummy Snatchy. Probably that's the main call. You can call Detonator if people are still playing Ryzeal. I don't think they will. What else are like problematic cards? You can also set it as well to prevent them from special summoning if they add a specific monster to their hand, like a Yummy name to your hand that you get to see before you activate it. Very good against Lunalight. I'm trying to think of the other archetypes that it is very good against. Like a lot of these decks now are just ending on a specific monster. Canine Vanquish Soul is going to be interesting. I mean, you can call Izuna with it. That way you they don't get like the surge, like the extending surge. Call Nash Knight with it, so they don't get the Xyz up to suck during your turn. How are you, Milky? Welcome in, welcome in. But you can absolutely play 3 copies of this card. Like I said, I just elected to keep the deck count low, to go for 2 and then 1 Foolish Burial Goods in case we see all of our Curse of Diabel stuff, or our Diabel Star stuff. We don't have to use Foolish to dump Curse of Diabel, so we can use our Foolish to dump Black Goat, which happened a couple of times during Saturday's tournament. Okay, so like I said, 43 card main deck. Extra deck is pretty straightforward. One new change here. We have a Poplar of the White Forest, obviously our White Forest names, our Resilia, our Silvera, and our DFL. New synchro added to the list is Herald of the Arclight, and I will show you why we've added Herald of the Arclight to this. It's now limited to 1. Thank God they didn't just ban this card like Konami used to do, because we can make our Herald of the Arclight if we happen to start with Field Spell, and we start with Field Spell and we normal summon our Stellar or have access to our Stellar during our combo. Since we're locked out of darks during our turn because of the Field Spell, we can make Herald of the Arclight before our 5th summon, and this is an Omni Negate. This helps us play around Nib, play through Nib. The one negative side effect of opening the Field Spell was because we didn't have access to the Azamina stuff, the Azamina fusions, our darks. We couldn't make Ilias Sylvia to counteract Nib, so we make Herald of the Arclight instead. But this card also has another secret bonus effect as well, is any monsters sent from the hand or main deck to the graveyard are banished instead. This hoses so many decks if you can keep him on the field as much as humanly possible. This single-handedly like stopped Vanquish Soul Canine from interacting with me during my turn. He didn't see this line coming. I made this twice in both our games, me going first game 1 and then me going first game 3, to where because of this you can't activate which hand traps. I think Droll, I'm pretty sure Droll is discard. Hold on. The Molcharmies are discard. Nope. This shuts off Droll and Droll and Lockbird, but we're always searching beforehand. Droll is Ascend. Ash Blossom, I believe, is Ascend as well. I just know the Molcharmies are discards. Let's see here. Nope. Ash Blossom is a discard. I know it shuts off some of the hand traps, but more so it shuts off Droll if they don't see this line coming. But it shuts off their Azuna, because their Azuna, if they banish or they send the Lupus from deck to grave from the Azuna effect, then it banishes the Lupus and they can't special summon it to Xyz during your turn. Shuts off Yummy, shuts off Draco Tail, and because Draco Tail fuses from hand, it sends them from hand to the graveyard. So they get banished instead, and they don't get to recur their effects. Also, hits Mitsurugi quite a bit as well if they try and ritual from hand by sending from deck. Or if they try and send from deck or ritual from deck by sending from hand, also hoses that as well. And then of course it has tacked on to it, while it's a mini floodgate, has tacked on it to it that it is also an Omni Negate as well. What's going on, Blizz? Good morning. Welcome in. The rest of our synchros are the one Chaos Angel, the one Duration, and the one Snake Eyes Vengeance. Duration, what I wanted a level 11 to go here, a level 11 synchro. I just don't know what. It's either between Duration or Psychic End Punisher. I still want to test Psychic End Punisher because it's better into, like, if people are playing Luna Lights or making towers, things like that. You can go make Psychic End Punisher pay half your life and just like beat into it and beat over it. But Duration did win me one game this past weekend because of its Raigeki effect. It is something people still have to play around. Just the life point gain is just not a factor anymore because of the new time rules. So his is definitely a lot worse, as this was our time card. But he could still Raigeki. He can still Raigeki during our opponent's turn. He can still Harpies during our opponent's turn. So he does have some uses as well. This one card is probably the most I need to test still after this. Or most I need to test with this deck list. Our fusions, still the one of Chorozo. I will never get rid of this card. I love consistency. I love being able to combo even when my opening hands are not good. The new Prismatic Secret Azumina Murasil Yugioh. Look at that shine. Look at that shine. No longer just an ultra. And also new, our OTS ulti. I ended up getting this past weekend. Our OTS ulti, Azumina Illa Sylvia. Let me see if I can take it out of its double sleeve. There we go. There we go. A really pretty card, really gorgeous card. Hold on. Yeah, we'll take it out. We'll take it out of the extra sleeve. Yeah, get those etchings in. I love how the OTS ultis are like raised up. Such a gorgeous card. Such a pretty card. Ended up picking it up this weekend. Let's see here. Properties, bigger video, autofocus, apply. There we go. Much better. So yeah, now you can see it. Yeah. Very gorgeous card. I love, like I said, I love how it's raised from the background too. So ended up picking that up this weekend. So maximum rarity, Illa Sylvia. I don't know if this one is like maximum rarity or is the like world championship one maximum with the stamp maximum rarity. But I like this one a lot. Soul Stygian, who did not get a rarity bump, unfortunately, still a common to this day. Moa Regina with a rarity bump to a Prismatic Secret. Saint Azumina, and lastly our SP Little Knight, just to have a little bit more removal. And play through like Baguska and stuff like that. For our sideboard, I'll talk about siding patterns here as well. Going first and second. I did do a couple last minute changes to it, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep it this way. We are only on 2 Lancia. This was a personal judgment call because of no one at my locals. There's only one Malice player at my locals, and he has been playing Vanquish Soul K9. He just kind of plays the like best deck in the format, each format, since he plays competitively. So there was no reason personally to run 3 Lancia, but you could still run 3 Lancia if you're afraid of Malice, because Malice is still like playable. Malice is not dead. Triple Joel and Lockbird, all of different rarities and different arts, just to tilt the opponent. Our last copy of Molcharmi Perulia. And then this it was first thing I'm going to change when I get multiple copies, but we are on 2 Dark Ruler No More. I never saw this during my tournament, but these are going to just become Raigekis, because you can play 3 Raigekis, and you can play 3 Raigekis, you have your thrusts, so that's 5 copies of a board breaker. And honestly, Raigeki is very good this format, because outside of specifically Vanquish Soul, which Vanquish Soul did get hit in the ban list, so I highly doubt a lot of people are going to be running it or going through the trouble of running it for the protection spell trap or protection trap. You can Raigeki K9s into board because they have no spell and trap negates. You can Raigeki Draco Tail, and they're forced to use the trap to negate it. And if they do, Raigeki's not once per turn, so we can always just recycle it back with White Force, Raigeki them again. Also, Raigeki doesn't count. Like, why I want to run Raigeki over Lightning Storms is because a lot of, like, if you're playing against Yummy, for example, you go Lightning Storm, they chain Snatchy, special all their stuff in defense, and all you're killing is the Snatchy, which they get back from the graveyard anyways with their other Yummy names. But if you Raigeki them, their whole board is gone. Even if they chain Snatchy to it, they're not making anything off of it. So after that, all you have to do is fight through Surprise, which again, a second Raigeki will kill them. 2 Triple Tactics Thrust. The only reason why this is not in main deck is because I don't want to go over on cards in the main deck. If the Perulias are not good this format, if Perulias don't really do much this format, then the thrusts come in for the Perulias. Like, it's a 2-2 swap in most games as well. Like, it really depends on how many people are going to be playing like Vanquish Soul. Or sorry, not Vanquish Soul. Going to be playing K9 this format, like pure K9. But these thrusts could easily, or the Perulias in the main deck could easily be these 2 thrusts. Then we are on 1 of the new rarity bump, the new Ultra, Scourge of the White Forest. The reason why we were playing Scourge in the sideboard is for guaranteed going first, because this is a heavy board breaker format, because of cards like Lightning Storm, Calling Back Row, because of Duster, because of Book of Eclipse and Droplet, and what was the other one? Dark Ruler No More. Dark Ruler No More. You have to be running a chainable negate to those cards, because while the White Forest board can't be destroyed by effects like Raigeki or Lightning Storm, they can be negated. They can be Book of Eclipsed, they can be Forbidden Droplet, they can be Dark Ruler No More, and all of our negates prior to this are off of monster effects, so we cannot chain the Illa Sylvia to the Dark Ruler No More. So we also want the ability to chain to those cards. This is why we're running the Sinful Spoils Silvera in the main deck as well, is because we end with Sinful Spoils Silvera set, we can chain to Dark Ruler no more, target the Simple Small Silvera, or if we can Silvera their droplet, unless they specifically send a trap, which a lot of times they never will. They'll always send like spell or multiple monsters. Protects us against if they go like Book of Eclipse and we tribute Sylvia to negate the Book of Eclipse, and they have Called By, which also hurts our interactions, hurts our deck a lot. Then we can change Scourge, we can chain Silvera to the Called By as well to make sure our Illa Sylvia negate goes through and protects the rest of the board. So you need to have a chainable negate to board breakers, to Dark Ruler no more, to droplets, to Metaltronus, other things, in the other board breakers in this format. The rest of the one-ofs for going first, D-Barrier. It's D-Barrier. It skips people's turns, skips Dracotail's turns, skips Canine's turns, skips Yummy turns somewhat. If you call Synchros, it's a lot worse against Yummy. But what's not worse against Yummy? Anti-Spell Fragrance. Anti-Spell Fragrance single-handedly won me a game against K9 Vanquish Soul. This card is very strong in this format. It is a one-of, or it is limited to one, but you can send this off of your Foolish Burial Goods, and if you go White Forest combo, get this back from your graveyard, so you can set it for your opponent's turn if you need it. This hoses Dracotail, this hoses Yummy. It's kind of mid against K9 Vanquish Soul, but it single-handedly won me the game because the opponent opened like the quick play spell, the continuous spell, and I had pops for all of his for his monsters that he had as well. And then the last two cards is one Duster and one Crossout Designator. The Duster will probably be third Raigeki, or the Crossout might be third Raigeki. We will see. I really don't like Crossout Designator. I think it's a really bad card as a one-of because we have to side in Drolls if we're playing Crossout, but kind of have to play something to stop Droll and Lockbird. All right, let's talk about siding patterns real fast. So going guaranteed first, we are siding out we're siding out our 3 droplets, our Perulias, and our Molcharmies, because we have Ash Blossoms for the Molcharmies. We're keeping those still in the main deck, and we have Called By for Molcharmies. Even though we are running Crossout, we don't want to put in like one of each of these because this is just 2 more bricks in the deck that we could potentially hit. And this deck outside of Perulia plays around Fuelos. Like at most, if we want to give them draws or we don't care about the draws, we can give them 2 draws with Fuelos. The main problematic Molcharmy is Perulia for this deck. And really in that case, just kind of open Ash or Called By and gets a makes us, we don't care about that. And for these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for these 8 cards, we are siding in the 1 Scourge, the 2 Talents. Depending on the format, depending on the format, it'll either be both Dimensional Barriers, both Dimensional Barrier and Anti-Spell Fragrance, or one of each. The Crossout, and then any number of Drolls. So again, if like anti-spell fragrance is not good in the matchup, then we'll do 3 drolls. If both are good in the matchup, we'll do 2 drolls, just so that we don't like open like the only 1 droll in our deck and shut off our crossout designator. So really easy siding pattern for going guaranteed first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the 9th card is the droll. Yeah, the 3rd or 2nd droll is the flex spot. And then for guaranteed going second, it's a little bit more complicated. It really is matchup dependent again, but we take out the Debtors, the Morium, the Stellar, the Called By, the Silvera, and I'm pretty sure that is it. Double check. It's more matchup dependent, of course. Yeah, because we want all our searches to be extenders. Pretty sure it's just these 5 cards going second, depending on. And then, of course, we have our triple Raigekis. Our thrusts. If Perulia, oh, and instead of Ash, we also side out Ash, because Ash is just not good this format as well. So we take out the 3 Ash and put in 3 drolls, because if they're adding cards, if it's a deck that adds a whole lot, then Droll's a lot better than Ash. If it's not a deck that adds a whole lot, like if it is Draco Tail or whatever, then we keep the Ashes in and keep the Drolls out. So like usually these 3 cards are interchangeable depending on what deck you play. Pop, pop. So that is the like basics of the siding pattern for this deck. Of course, if they are a deck that like special summons from hand more, like if they are like K9 or something, then we put in the Perulia as well. Over really it's just really dependent. Maybe like a witch, probably a witch, like a field spell. All right, now let's talk about some of the lines with this new list and how we get to the Silvera. I know this is a lot of information. This is a lot of stuff we were covering with White Force in this format. This is going to be a 2-part video. So if you would like to see, slide here. Wow. So this is going to be a 2-part video, so if you'd like to see, I'm going to cut this for YouTube. This is going to be a 2-part video, so if you'd like to see the siding patterns for this list, as well as some of the lines, how we get to some of these new cards like the Silvera, like the Herald of the Arclight, let me know down in the comments below, and always like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. I hope you enjoyed at least this deck tech portion of the White Force. I hope you at least enjoyed this deck tech portion of the White Force video. And as always, good night. All right, we cut there, and then now we'll talk about lines. Ah! There we go. Ah! I got a lot of surprises they dropped a duelist cup without any build-up or hype behind it beforehand. Why is this? Pause. Stop that. Hello, Silver. Give me on. Give me on. Bop, 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 bop. Okay. Let me move this out of the way real fast. Let me change my camera over as well since we're not using hand cam anymore. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Ah! Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold. I messed up. Okay, cool. I can do it here. Deactivate this. First and foremost, let me deactivate the hand camera before I turn it on. That would have been a huge mistake. That would have been a big no-no. Random face reveal, random docs on a Wednesday afternoon. Ah! There we go. Whee! Okay. Oh no, my immersion. My immersion. My emotion. Come on, turn it on. There we go. All right, we're back. We're so back. Let me finish this. Default all this stuff. What? Default all this stuff. What? Apply. Zoom. What? A book. A book. Ah! All right. Should be good now. Perfect. There we go. Not gonna lie, surprised they dropped a duelist cup without any build up or hype beforehand. It's because Master Duel is not in a good place right now. I was really debating putting out a video, like a little discussion video, talking about my thoughts and feelings of Master Duel, but I also don't want Konami to hate me. But yeah, Master Duel is like literally in its worst state right now. Malice is the best deck by far and large. It plays through everything, even Lancia, depending on what you open. It doesn't kill the deck as much as it used to. And then I'm going to be interested in seeing the results, like the percentages of like the decks played. Yeah, and I mean, I already don't like how the Duelist Cup is run. I don't like how stage 2 of the Duelist Cup is. I don't participate in it. We're gonna play through the Duelist Cup, like the first, like the registration stage, or getting to the Duelist level 20. But I am not gonna sit there and play through, play for 72 hours, 3 days straight, grinding just Malice mirror matches nonstop over and over again. I would kill myself. Would absolutely kill myself in Minecraft, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Would send myself to the Shadow Realm. There we go. Would send myself to the Shadow Realm. All right. Next part of the video. All right. It's gonna be really cringe. This is gonna be really cringe, chat. Just bear with me. All right. Thank you for all the likes, comments, and what the fuck happened there? There we go. All right. Thank you for all the likes, comments, and support on the previous video, on the deck tech video for White Forest. We're back with the follow-up, the part 2, I guess, of the video. And I want to take the time to discuss some of the new lines with White Forest and what you can do with the new cards that we added and how we get to the new cards like this Silvera, or what we choose to search, going through our lines and uninterrupted, obviously, and then what we can choose to end on depending on what matchup we are playing against, and how and how if we are starting with the field spell, how we can play around Nibiru and set up and omni-negate or set up our negates, even though we are dark locked. So I want to pull up a couple of replays for you. We're going to discuss, we're going to talk through them. This first one I have to zoom through because I don't. Is this one? Okay, wait. Hold on. Refresh this. Did this already reset my hand? Let me see. Give me 1 second. We're gonna cut before all of this. I just don't know if this is the. Okay, this is the full combo, the one I did. I'm pretty sure this is the full combo, yeah. Okay. Wait, was this the... Wait, no, this is the full combo. Okay. Wait, why did I reset that? Maybe it was because I wanted to specifically get to something instead. Hold on. I gotta remind my dumb, stupid brain like what we were testing with this one. What we were trying to get to. Holland doesn't mean it. Okay, all this stuff is normal. Yugioh, Silvera. Oh no, we get debtors instead. Shuttleback, add hollow, do for do, fusion. Oh, I wanted to use civil spoils of the White Forest to fuse. Okay. Oh yeah, and this is me fixing the line because I want to in on Moa Regina because if we go Saint, like you have to choose between Saint and. All right, sweet. Okay, that's what the line was. And me clicking the buttons. Okay, let me restart this, and then let me look at the other replay real fast. Fast forward the. Let me fast forward this till I get to the second hand. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. All right. There's that one. Ah! Hold on. Pink. And then this other replay. I have to remember what it was. Hold on. Fast forward. Okay. Okay, this is not the. All right, we're gonna have to do Yeah, I did do a quick replay of making oh, okay, this also gets us there. Okay. All right. Okay. The other line I wanted to sew is starting just field spell then. So let me do this line real fast. I don't know why it's doing this weird blurry thing. Is it because it's like stretched? Nope, it's just doing a weird blurry thing. Weird. Okay. Don't like that. Okay. I want to just start pure field spell. Yeah, I guess I can just do it. Here, it's bottom of the deck, 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 view, add the hand, and then add hand a spell trap. All right. So for this line, yeah. So how we get to, I want to go over a couple of lines for White Forest. First of all, the new additional card that we added in the new card that we added in our side deck, our Herald of the Arclight. Don't know why this is so blurry, but it's annoying the piss out of me. I wanted to discuss how we get to Herald of the Arclight, how we can get to it before our 5th summon, and why we are running the Herald of the Arclight. And that is purely because of the Witch of the White Forest and the field spell that on activation adds us a White Forest monster, but also has the second effect of when this card is activated, or if we do get that add, you cannot special summon dark monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this term. If we had to start field spell before we had access to our Azamina stuff, this locks us out of our Azaminas, more specifically our Azamina Illa Sylvia, in which this is our Omni Negate to insulate us against Nibiru and other hand traps. Also, our anti-Nibiru lines like Saint Azamina or Moa Regina that we can make as well. So Nibiru just kind of hoses us terribly if we don't have access to our darks. But that is where Herald of the Arclight comes in. So if we activate our Witch of the White Forest, and we're gonna go through this line pretending opponent has no interaction, and we're only doing this as a 1-card combo or 1.5 card combo, since you need Witch of the White Forest plus any spell and trap. So we are going to normal summon our Stellar here. A Stellar on normal summon, or we're going to go Droplet, sending Droplet off of a Stellar to special summon a level 4 tuner. We are going to special summon our Sylvie. Sylvie is then going to add us our Tales of the White Forest. And this combo is pretty normal starting out. There's not too much going on. Now we get to go to grave, to special summon our Resilia. Resilia on summon is going to send a spell and trap to search. We are going to send to grave the Tails. And that is going to add us either our LZ or as a LZ. It doesn't matter because we're going to get the other one off of our Tails. We want to add our LZ Azza here. Now Tails is going to set itself. Or on Chainlink 1, a Stellar is going to special summon itself, and then Chainlink 2, Tails is going to set itself to chain block the Stellar to play around any kind of Ghost Spell in Haunted Mansion. Now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 summons. This is technically our 5th summon. So they have to Nibiru us here. If they don't, we could also have done this before our 5th summon or as our 5th summon if we did the line a little differently, or if we started like if we started LZ, or we added LZ off of Tails first before making Resilia. But this is our 5th summon, so they have to Nibiru us here. Otherwise, we go the second hidden effect of Witch of the White Forest. You can target one White Forest monster you control that is treated as a tuner this turn. So we target our Stellar, make it a tuner, and that is 2 level 2s to make our Herald of the Arclight. This also is a synchro summon for the LZ Azamina. So this allows us to go get our Sinful Spoils, whether we get our Wanted or our Deception. It depends on what else is in our hands. And now we have the Tails that we can activate to get us our LZ. So we'll go Tails, get us our LZ. And now everything else we do is under a Omni Negate. So the rest of the combo, we can send this Witch, since we don't need it anymore, to special summon the LZ. LZ is going to grab, this has to specifically grab our Diabels in this 1 card combo or 1.5 card combo, because we don't have any, like, pretend we have nothing else in the hand. We don't have access to our Diabel line yet. Now we can, now we can go into our 8s, get back our Witch or our Tails. It doesn't really matter. We'll just grab back our Witch. This is also why only running extender White Forest spells is very important, because so we don't search woes ever in this combo, or in a lot of our combos now. But now we will go Sylvie effects, shuffle this back to the extra. We can go Deception, tribute the Sylvie now, get our and get our, oh sorry, we would have, I forgot we did the field spell, so take it back. We wouldn't have gotten Deception. Bottom of the deck. We would have grabbed it, since we were starting field spell, we would have searched Wanted. Sorry, I completely forgot this combo was starting field spell. It's early for me. So instead of grabbing the Deception, you would grab Wanted always, because we started the field spell. We're locked out of our darks. So same thing though. We would just grab, instead of instead of Deception, we would grab Wanted, search our Diabel Star. Now we would special the Sylvie. Excuse me. We would special the Sylvie by shuffling back the Resilia, tribute the Sylvie, or send it back to grave to special summon our Diabel Star. Diabel Star is going to set either our Deception or our Silvera, depending on what we want, what we're more afraid of. Most of the time, like 90% of the time, is going to grab our Deception. Then our Deception is going to tribute the Diabel Star to set our Azamina Debtors. So now we have access to our Azamina line during our opponent's turn, which is always going to be either a targeted send with Solar Stygian, or we can make an Illusilia for an Omni Negate during our opponent's turn. We're not done there, because we can special summon our Diabels by sending our Deception and make sure it's face up, so it resets at the end of the turn. Diabels is going to dump our Curse to the grave. Curse is going to add us our Philia, Our Philia is going to activate to add us our Diabell Star Vengeance. Then we banish a spell and a trap to special summon our Diabell Star Vengeance. And finally, on instep, our Sinful Spoils of Deception sets itself so that we can fusion summon during our opponent's turn. So this is ending on our Diabell summoning a Tuner Synchro during our opponent's turn off activation. Herald of Arclight, which is a Omni Negate, as well as a mini Floodgate for any monster sent from hand or main deck to the graveyard. Diabell's the White Witch, protects our entire board from destruction. And then Diabell Star Vengeance pops a card and also summons a Tuner Synchro. Can summon our Poplar to make our Snake Eyes Vengeance during our opponent's turn. We also can activate our Witch of the White Forest as well, reactivate it so we get the protection of our Witch of the White Forest. But this is more or less, oh yeah, and then of course the Debtors to Azamina Fusion summon during our opponent's turn. So this is more or less going to be your inboard all the time. Of course, if we're doing like full combos and we're not starting Witch, I have other lines set up that we're going to go over, other replays we're going to set up where we end on Diabell Star Black Witch for another negate as well as some other active other forms of interaction. So let me add this replay here real fast. Excuse me. What's going on, Text? What have you missed? Haven't missed much. We are just going over lines for White Forest. We'll talk about the new cards that we added to the list and how we get to them, how we access them. Okay. So our full combo for this list, I will just play through this replay real fast and what we typically want to end on if we are going uninterrupted, full combo, things of that nature, and all the different variants of interaction that we can have. Typically, game one, if we don't know what our opponent's deck is, we have no information, we do not want to end on Saint Azamina. Instead, we need to choose to elect we elect to end on Moa Regina, because Moa Regina has the better interaction of popping 2 cards, keeps them out of Xyz summoning, Synchro summoning, Link summoning, all that good stuff, and just keeps them off of material. So we'll play through this real fast. We're going to start with LZ. This is just test hands at this point as well, so it's not 1-card combos, obviously. But LZ, send the curse. This is going to trigger the curse. Lets us add our Philia Diabell. Oh, did we not add our Philia Diabell? I forgot to add our Philia Diabell. Whoops. A fun replay. Good replay, guys. All right. Should have added Philia Diabell off that, but past me is stupid. Anyways, add Ursilia, go Tails. There's our Philia Diabell. We remembered. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, that should have been in hand. All right, that's fine. It doesn't affect anything. Tails to add our Stellar, and now, because we added our Stellar off of the Tails, because we already had access to our LZ Azamina, we can Sinful Spoils of the White Forest to special summon our Stellar if we wanted access to more bodies. But instead, we're going to just elect to go to LZ Azamina to go into our Sinful Spoils line. Get our Diabell. Our Sinful Spoils search is going to be the LZ. Or sorry, the Sinful Spoil search is going to be the Wanted. So we have access to the Diabell Star, and then we just add back our Tails. So that was the only useful spell and trap from our graveyard. Now we have Deception, tribute the Stellar, get our Hollowed Azamina, And look at all these sinful spoils that we have in hand. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 sinful spoils that we can chain to Hallowed Azamina if we wanted. So we'll just go Azamina, Murasili, Yugioh. Get our last sinful spoils out of this deck. I'm pretty sure this is the last one that we have access to. Oh, never mind. We got debtors. Why did we get... Oh, so we could set debtors during the turn? All right. Shuffle back the Elza Azamina. Oh, it's because we still haven't gone into Deception yet. Or it's because we haven't gotten into Dia Bellstar. So I took it back. We grabbed we grabbed the debtors instead of the Sinful Spoils Silvera, because we still haven't summoned Dia Bellstar yet off of this Wanted. So now we can go Hallowed Azamina, chain Wanted, chain a Sinful Spoils of the White Forest to fuse. And we choose the wrong one here. We messed up the line. So you can do Saint Azamina with this first. I just realized that, yeah, there's Saint Azamina. So if you want to end on Saint Azamina against our opponent, we can fuse here with Sinful Spoils of the White Forest to get Saint Azamina. Add our Dia Bellstar Black Witch off of our Sinful Spoils. Then by sending 2, we can get Moa Regina. And then with the Saint Azamina effect, we can summon the Illa Sylvia. And with the Moa Regina effect, we can get back the Dia Bellstar Dia Bell we used as material. So the only problem with this line, and it's why we don't want to make Saint Azamina blind going first, is now we don't have any spots for our Dia Bellstar Vengeance or our Dia Bells. So this is me taking it back, and we're just going to make Moa Regina instead of fusion summoning here. We're just going to send our 2. All right, so now we go Dia Bellstar, the Black Witch, send this Morian. So now we have Morian in the grave to activate the Moa Regina. Uh-oh. Sorry, we're reversing all the lines. I realized how much I messed up. Up. There we go. All right. So instead of making Saint Azamina, we want to end on Moa Regina when we're going blind first because it has more interaction. So we'll go Hallowed Azamina, send the Wanted, chain the Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. And you can fuse the Sinful Spoils of the White Forest, or you can then chain to the Sinful Spoils of the White Forest to fuse the special summon effect back of Sylvie by shuffling back your Brasilia. This gives you a spellcaster and an illusion on the field to summon your Illa Sylvia. Now we'll resolve our Wanted to add our Dia Bellstar. And now we have 2 monsters on the field. We have 2 Wanted, we have 2 Sinful Spoils that we can send now for our Moa Regina. We go Dia Bellstar. And you can even send the Dia Bell for this Dia Bellstar. But we just sent, if you don't have Morian in hand to activate the Moa Regina, we can just send the Dia Bell instead and then use the Moa Regina to get back the Dia Bell. And now we're going to set Silvera off of the Dia Bellstar. Banish our Wanted, shuffle this back, draw a card. That's a droplet. Now we go finally into our Dia Bell line. Dump our Vengeance since we've already had access to Curse and Philia. Banish a spell and a trap. And we have Dia Bellstar Vengeance. Alright. So this end board is a pop 2 with Mo Regina by activating Sinful Summer's Morian. Then we also have Deception set at end phase. Then we also have a Sinful Spoils of Betrayal Silvera. This is a targeted face-up negate by tributing your Diabell Star or Diabell Star Vengeance. We have Azamina Illusilvia as a Omni negate by tributing. We also have Droplet to send for negates. And we have Diabell Star to special summon a Tuner Synchro and Diabell Star Vengeance to special summon a Tuner Synchro. The Silvera also helps you empty spots in your board to get these Synchros out. So we can Silvera tribute the Diabell Star to special summon back, or tribute the Diabell Star to negate to open up a spot, tribute our Azamina Illusilvia to negate to open up a spot for our Tuner Synchros. We also have Debtors set here so that we can either Debtors send our Deception, or if we are chaining to something like say they go Dark Ruler no more here, and we know what deck they're on. We know they're on like I'm trying to think of a good deck this format. They're on Draco Tail, something that targets like in the graveyard or targets on their field that they have to target for. We go Silvera to negate their like Rahu or their Keto Draco Tail by tributing Diabell Star. Then while this is still activating, we can also go Debtors here, chain Debtors to and send the activating Silvera and the set Deception to special out our Saint Azamina to semi-floodgate them as well if we wanted to, while else still holding on to Illusilvia for the Ketu Draco Tail or the other Draco Tail spell or drop or fusion spell. And this is a lot of layered interaction in this full board here. Then of course like droplets to counteract monster effects, and I think that's it. And then yeah, Morian to set to pop 2 that as well. So that was the rate of Sinful Spoils cards in his hand is too damn high. And this deck runs a lot of Sinful Spoils now. Okay, yeah, that is the end of the replay. Yay, dice and coins. All right, the next replay I wanted to show was how we can also implement our another way we can implement the Herald of the Arclight into our inboard as well. Yeah, so this is a test hand if we didn't start with Field Spell, but we did start with a Stellar. So with this test hand, we're going to start with Diabell Star, send this Black Goat. This Black Goat gives us another form of interaction to call on their turn by banishing, to negate the activated effects of a monster. We are going to set our Deception, activate our Deception, tribute the Diabell Star since we have access to the Stellar. And we want to always use like our Black Witch and Sinful Spoils stuff first a lot of the time, so that they waste their hand traps. They waste their Ash Blossom or their Imperm or Effect Veiler on the Diabell Star, and then the Ash Blossom on the Deception. But we'll get our Hallowed Azamina here. That way it frees up our Stellar. Now we're just gonna make our Illusilvia since we already have access to our Wanted. So now we're doing everything underneath an Omni Negate. So we'll go with Stellar. We'll send the Wanted since we don't really need the Diabell Star anymore since it's in our graveyard, and we can just get the Wanted back if we wanted to. So let's just summon our Sylvie. Sylvie's gonna add our Tails. Again, we took out Woes in our deck so that all of our White Forest searches are always going to be extenders. Let's make our Basilia. I streamlined this, but I sent the tails for Basilia and reset it from grave. This is going to special summon back the Stellar. Now we activate the tails to get us our LZ Azamina. Special our LZ Azamina. Make our level 8. For our, and get back the wanted from the graveyard. Oh, we forgot to add our Sinful Spoils. That's funny. Oops. So we should have added one of our Sinful Spoils, either our Silvera or our Morian there, or our Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. I don't know if I catch it though. We'll go wanted Chain Hollowed. And because we've already used the Diabell Star, we can add the Diabell Star Vengeance. The Diabell Star Vengeance is a Sinful Spoils card, so we can send it with Hallowed for our second card to make our Moa Regina. Banish our wanted, put the Deception on the bottom, draw a card. Hey, it's the Sinful Spoils of the White Force that we were supposed to add earlier. So this is a blank card. Now we can finally go Witch, which is going to add our LZ. LZ is going to send the Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. It's going to reset itself. And now the LZ is going to add our Diabells because our Diabells is a White Forest card. And now we can go Witch of the White Forest effect to make Stellar or one of our level 2s a tuner. And now we have Herald of the Arclight. So we'll finish up the combo by doing the old Philia Diabell. Diabell's the White Witch, send the Philia Diabell. Send the Curse of Diabell from the deck to grave. And banish a spell and a trap, and now we have Diabell Star Vengeance. So now with this setup, we still have an Omni Negate, or we have 2 Omni Negates, Illa Sylvia, or both of these tribute for cost. We have Moa Regina to pop. We have a Sinful Spoils of the White Forest to fusion summon. And then we have the Diabell to summon a Tuner Synchro, Diabell Star Vengeance to summon a Tuner Synchro. This hand, or this field, is a little bit worse. If I had remembered to add my Sinful Spoils, we could have added the Sinful Spoils Silvera off of this combo as well. We would have just had to tribute the Diabell Star Vengeance for that effect. But what the Sinful Spoils of the White Forest can do is, if we, again, we know what deck our opponent is playing, or we get an idea of what our deck our opponent is playing, we can fusion summon with the Sinful Spoils into Saint Azamina, and then Saint Azamina special summon any of our other Azamina monsters to kind of lock. So like if we've already used our Moa Regina effect to pop 2 cards, then we can fusion summon our Diabell and our Moa Regina into Saint Azamina, because it requires a level 6 or higher fusion and a level 6 or higher synchro monster. So technically with this board, it is Omni Negate with Herald, Omni Negate with Illa Sylvia. We would have had Silvera set if I remembered it. Sinful Spoils Silvera set. Or Morian set as well, whichever one we wanted. Probably Silvera to insulate the board against Dark Ruler no more. And then Moa Regina, so that would be 3 negates in this area alone. And then Moa Regina pops, Diabell Star pops, Diabell summons Book of Eclipse. So, a lot of layered action that lot of layered interaction that you can get with this list or this deck. There we go. A lot of layered action that you can get with this list now, and the addition of Sinful Spoils Silvera and exchanging that for woes. Let's see here. Do I have a good screen? There we go. There we go. All right. So a lot of layered action. Fuck. So a lot of layered interaction with this list and what you can get off of by taking out woes for Sinful Spoils Silvera. This lets us make all of our White Forest searches more streamlined by just adding extenders, and then allows our Sinful Spoils searches, which we have more of, which we have 3 of, to eventually one of them is going to get our Silvera if we make sure we remember it. And this also keeps our trap count the same by exchanging just woes for Silvera, and also allows us to insulate our boards a lot better against board breakers like Dark Ruler no more, like Droplet, like Metaltronus, these board breakers that Ultimate Slayer that don't allow us to chain to with our monster negates. And then when we go first, we get to side in cards like Scourge of the White Forest, guaranteed going first over our like Fuwas and our Droplets and our Mulcharmies and our Droplets, so that we have another searchable negate in case we start with our extenders, or we have access to all of the extenders that we need as well. All right. That being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it super helpful. As always, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Will this VOD stay on the channel? Yeah, this VOD's immediately. I think YouTube fixed the issue. So this VOD of my VOD's not uploading. They got back to me on that. So it's always going to stay on the channel. I'm going to edit this down into 2 separate videos as well, so it's not as long. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure to watch that as well. But all right, quick outro. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video was super helpful for you. I hope you learned, or I hope you enjoyed the video. Fuck. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you learned some new lines with White Forest. Let me know down in the comments below. If you have any more questions, comments, concerns about the new list, about the changes, about the additional cards, the new Sinful Spoils Betrayal Silvera, as well as the Herald of the Arclight, or if there's any other cards that you recommend we should test, try out for White Forest. Like I said in the previous part to this video, I think White Forest is very strong in this upcoming format. I think it's going to be a tier 2 deck that will most likely will have like probably like 4 or 5 players or whatever, and usually like the same, like 1 or 2 players will top. But I do think it's a deck that people need to be on the lookout for, need to be watching out for, need to learn how to actually interact with, as this format is definitely shaping to be one that is beneficial for White Forest, since the lack of Droll and Lockbirds in the main deck for a lot of decks, since a lot of the top decks like your Yummies, like your Draco Tails, don't really care about Droll and Lockbird. And then the additional access to board breakers being very strong, allowing us to have more spells and traps in the deck to activate our White Forest effects. And of course the new time rule changes as well, where paying life to pop cards, paying half our life points to pop cards, doesn't really matter anymore, and then we can just play the grind game with this deck. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, like, share, like, subscribe, hit that bell, all the good YouTube stuff. I know YouTube has changed the algorithm a lot, so it's a lot harder to see these videos. So if you want more White Forest videos, want more informational videos like this for White Forest, or other Yu-Gi-Oh decks coming up, hit the bell so you get the notifications for whenever I upload a new video. And as always, oh, sorry. But I do hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, good night. All right, that should do it. Yeah, I cannot do things on first take. I'm not a script writer. I don't like sitting here and typing out a script. I do literally everything off the dome. It makes for a lot more editing and cutting because I say and stutter sometimes, and I hate it. I hate editing my own videos. Hate listening to my own voice. There we go. But it's better than having to sit there and write a script and like sound like a TikToker or whatever, and just like 6, 7. This is how you play White Forest in 2025. Doing stuff on first day, but yeah, I will edit that down into 2 separate videos. We'll do the deck guide, the deck tag. As far as what you missed, Blizz, we just went over like the new deck list over the hand cam, and then we just went over lines and general. Easy sniped. Direct bot, follower bot. Okay, what do we want to do now, chat? We did all the boring stuff out of the way. Do we want to play a little bit of the Duelist Cup? I kind of want to start a new game this week. I was thinking either Wednesday, either tomorrow or Friday, of starting like a playthrough or something like Final Fantasy. Maybe Final Fantasy Remake. Would that be something y'all would like or would be interested in watching? Like an actual like game playthrough rather than just like farming repetitive like Yu-Gi-Oh ladders. Because I've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft off stream, but like I know World of Warcraft is not really a good game to stream unless people like have played World of Warcraft and know WoW. And so I definitely want to do something like more narrative, like story based, whatever, that like has a good like start, middle, end to it. And I haven't played Um, Monster Hunter World Kappa. Fuck! I completely forgot about Monster Hunter World being a thing. Yo, I feel so bad because like Serp was gifted Monster Hunter World, and they literally waited the entire time Monster Hunter like went through its popularity cycle, so that they could play it with me, so we could go through the story together. And I've been broke. I have been poor and haven't been able to like set $80, $70 aside to play a new video game. Plus all the stuff like going on in Yu-Gi-Oh and everything that I'm covering as well. That I just have not been able. It's ass? I thought it was very good. I thought people loved it. I enjoyed Worlds. I don't know. I mean, when we played the beta of Wilds, we did the beta test of Wilds, and it was fun. What's wrong with Monster Hunter Wilds? Is it just like the story not good, or they mess with the combat somehow? I was thinking like something shorter though. Like, what? I really want to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think that'd be a fun one because at least that's also like an action game. So it's at least more entertaining and like lights going on. No, not Wilds, aka the new one, the older one. Oh, Worlds, yeah. I know. I mean, I liked Worlds. Worlds was really good for its time. I grinded the shit out of Worlds. Worlds is what got me into Monster Hunter because I never really played any of the Monster Hunter handheld games. I'm not a huge handheld gamer, so Worlds was the first time I actually got to like sink my teeth into like the aspect of Monster Hunter. Maybe we try Final Fantasy VII Remake. Maybe I'll make a thumbnail. We'll see what people think in the Discord. We do Final Fantasy VII Remake. Was that one, Wilds is basically dead already. I don't know how, but player base is low. I mean, it's always been a niche game, but I mean, that's the thing with like Twitch streaming and Twitch in general, is like these games will come out, they'll have super hype. Like all these big content creators be like, no, I've always loved Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is like one of my favorite games of all time. And then they play it for like a week and then move on to the next game. And then it just dies. Even though it's like a really good game, like, especially grindy games like that, where you have to farm a whole lot. They'll just like play through the main story and be like, hey, I beat Monster Hunter. Not realizing or not caring about like, hey, no, once you beat the story, now it's time to level your Monster Hunter rank and like get the like insanely good gear that you had to gem up and enchant and all that stuff, and fight the actual hard bosses, actual hard monsters. Yeah, I think either Final Fantasy VII Remake or Final Fantasy 15? No, 16. Which one's the 16, because 15 is the one with Noctis. 16 is the newest one. I think it'd be fun to play through. I have not played through 16, and I have not played through the new Final Fantasy 7, but if we do play through Final Fantasy 7, I want to start over from the original remake, and then we'll play the second part as well. Personally, love Worlds, almost 400 hours, but I haven't played in a while. Yeah, Worlds, I mean, I played it. Final Fantasy almost always good. Yeah, I really love Final Fantasy games. They're always like a good like sit down game playthrough as well. And now that they're like moving to like more action, although I do like turn-based, I do like Final Fantasy X holds a soft spot in my heart, as well as Final Fantasy IX is my favorite. It's a lot more interesting to like watch the action and watch the like the newer updated ones like 16.7 remake, unless you have like someone to yap with to play the like the turn-based ones while you're like farming levels. So yeah, I think we'll either start that tomorrow or Friday. I'll see how I feel tomorrow and how I can make a thumbnail tomorrow. Good morning, Kirito. Well, I guess it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Good afternoon, Kirito. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Welcome in, welcome in. Just missed. We just spent 2.5 hours talking about new White Force deck list and lines and cards and stuff, and just like big brained nerd card shit. Big theory crafting, big brain, big smart autism card game. Also kind of wanted to try playing Magic the Gathering again. Do like a Magic the Gathering arena stream or something, if that would be something people would like, or if y'all just purely like Yu-Gi-Oh. Just woke up. Hell yeah, I wish that were me. I wish that were me. I've been when I get off work in the mornings at like 7 a.m. I've been going for a mile run each morning as soon as I get off of work, and I've hated it. I hate cardio, chat. I hate cardio so much. It's the worst aspect of working out, but I am become such a fat ass and I've been eating so unhealthily that I have to do it. I have to do it. I've got to do it. I've got to start eating better too. Okay. And what can you say? Fiber makes the chest flat. Oh, the chest is not the problem. The chest is I started going back to the gym again, started benching again. I mean, I'm nowhere back near my like 335, 345 bench that I was when I was like working out 4 or 5 times a week. But I mean, we still bench like 225, 235. Or still rep 225, 235. It's not terrible, but I do want to get back my strength. But no, chest is big, chest is massive. I just gotta get my muscles activated again. Maybe we play. I don't know. I'm tempted to just log in and play Duelist Cup tomorrow. I might do that after I get off work. Or I do have a pack. Do have a free pack. Hold on. We do have a free pack. This could be anything. It could even be a Regenesis card. You know how much I've wanted one of those. It's nothing. My favorite. Yay. I have played a little bit of the Duelist Cup off stream while I've been bored at work. Climbed from 10 to 13 but we do need to get to 20 to hit the duelist stage. It's just, let's play Labyrinth. Honestly, kind of based. Kind of based. Labyrinth. We need 2 more Daruma Karma Cannons and another transaction rollback, and we can play Labyrinth. But we need 3 more URs. We can play some Labyrinth. Right now, I've just been switching off playing Malice and playing White Forest. White Forest when I get tired of getting Lancia. Like, so I played a little bit while I was at work, while I was bored. Let me show you my match history real fast. Hell yeah. This is with the Malice deck. This is 04 with Malice because open Lancia, Max Seed, open Lancia. They went first with Malice. I opened no hand traps. I opened Max Seed. They went first. And they ashed it. Opened Lancia. And then I finally, they opened Lancia, but I opened Adegneister or whatever chick's name, backup Adegneister, so I still got to go full combo. And then I was just like, fuck this, I'm just gonna start playing White Forest. It is so brutal. It is so brutal. Everyone's like opened Lancia or Maxi against me. And no one's playing Droll. Do I have Labyrinth Yugioh? I do not. It would just be pure Labyrinth. I don't think Labyrinth Yugioh is very good. So we'll probably just do this tomorrow. I am a little tired and I'm a little hungry. I'm probably just gonna get some food and pass out. We have 2 more nights of work. This also lets me edit some videos. Edit the videos that we worked on earlier today. I'll get the deck list uploaded as soon as humanly possible. So be on the lookout for that, as well as the replays slash sideboarding and lines video will be the second video that comes out. Then yeah, I think either tomorrow, depending on how quickly I get done with editing, we'll either play some Duelist Cup. It'll just be like a more chill stream, probably on Twitch only. And Friday we'll start like an actual game. So Friday we'll play. I'm really feeling Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think that'd be a fun one. I think we would enjoy that. Hopefully y'all would enjoy that. Really want to play through Final Fantasy VII Remake. I want to give it a shot. Because there's 2 parts to it now. There's like remake and the other one now. Remade. So rebirth, I think that's what I called it. Regenesis, repieced, recombobulated. So, all right. Well, that being said, guys, gals, and bees, YouTube catters, hopefully you have a great rest. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, Wednesday. I don't think it would be morning in the US. Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, Thursday morning maybe. And I hope you enjoyed this stream. I will potentially see y'all tomorrow. If not, I'll be available in the Discord. If I don't see y'all tomorrow, then I will see y'all Friday. Yeah, Friday. Y'all have a good rest of your Wednesday, and as always, chat, good night.